you can't just jump someone in like that the fans are not totally wanting to see. He's a sports star. He's probably great, but I would say 80% of the fans watching Monday Night Raw didn't know who the hell he is. I didn't.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Wrestling Time Machine. I'm your host, Mac Davis. Along with me, of course, each and every single week, WWE Hall of Famer Teddy Long and legendary pro wrestling journalist, Mr. Bill Apter. Hey, guys.
And St. Louis wrestling legend Teddy Long.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in just a second, because I want to kind of backtrack before we even get into St. Louis. Teddy, I want to bring up, you and I ended up on the same flight going to St. Louis. And when we got on that flight, Teddy, tell me if I'm wrong, because you're on the opposite end of the aisle from where I was. But I thought I heard the pilot say weather in St. Louis is partly sunny, nice day. We should be landing there. Made no big deal about it. Then we start flying. Flight was fine until we got over St. Louis, and then we went round and round and round, and we're wondering, what the hell are we doing? Why aren't we landing? Finally, it had to be the most turbulent plane ride I have ever been on. Teddy, I know you've been on many plane rides, but this one for me was one of the most turbulent I have ever been on, and there was a reason for it. We got on the ground, and we're told now, keep in mind, everybody's phones, cell phones, now have these alarms on them if anything like a natural disaster happens or something. The entire plane, everybody's phone started going off, and you immediately you're like, oh shit, this isn't good. And the pilot comes on and says, we're in the middle of a tornado and we can't even get to the gate, so we're stuck on the tarmac. Teddy, that was a wild ride. I mean, that rain and that hail wasn't playing, was it?
Well, I've been on one that was worse than that. So that one there was pretty bad, but it was mild. Okay. I've been on one worse than that. Yeah, that's kind of scary because there's nothing you can do.
No.
It's all in God's hands. And so, that, like I said, I was just happy that we landed, and they said we couldn't get off. That's no problem. We're on the ground.
I was stuck in the airport for about an hour and a half on an escalator.
Wow. You couldn't even walk down the escalator or go up?
Teddy, he bought that.
I know.
Hey, look, you never know in the airport.
Only him.
I was stuck on an escalator for an hour and a half, yes.
Well, I would believe that with you, though, Bill. You still use tape machines, cassette recorders. Let's talk about, though, the SICW FanFest event. It was a fun event. Unfortunately, man, there were so many of the locals there that just couldn't come in because of the tornadoes that we were just talking about. Man, it had knocked out so many. It went through downtown St. Louis. Some of the images we saw the following morning after we got up were like bombs went off in that area. And so a lot of power was out. It was a mess. And so we didn't see a lot of the people I expected we would see from St. Louis, but I fully understand why. Because if I'm at home and my power's not on, I'm not going anywhere until I get things situated at home.
Yeah.
Well, you can't spend no money buying no wrestling tickets when your power is out.
No, well, not just power.
Every dime you got now, you got to put it into getting your house back in order.
Yeah. And so many houses were completely destroyed, wiped out completely.
And if anybody who's watching right now or listening and that happened to you, prayers with you, because the damage was long. It wasn't just in St. Louis, man. It covered state to state for a while there. And
so got hit really badly too.
Yeah, just horrible stuff. But that time of year when Mother Nature plays hell a little bit here and there. I do want to mention one big event that happened on that night for sure. And our very own Teddy Long getting the Lifetime Achievement Award from the St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame. Teddy, I enjoyed that. I thought you and Mr. Briscoe were the reason why that show was so good, because you two had me laughing in the ring. But congratulations, Teddy. It was well deserved.
Hey, thank you, and also Bill too. Bill, after him and I, golly, we go way back. I met Bill back when I first started refereeing, when I was putting up the ring, taking the ring down. So that's been 40 years ago, and thank God that we're still alive and we're able to be
And
here
we're still
among
good
each other.
buddies. We're still
So, Bill, thank you for all your help, during my career. Thank you for everything, and Mac, thank you so much for putting stuff together and making it all happen for us. And that's it.
And I want to mention too, Gerald Briscoe, brother. I know he watches our show from time to time when he has a chance, and I got to spend quite a bit of time with Gerald off and on all weekend. But Gerald was somebody, when they had called me, they wanted me to say a few things about Teddy. And I told him then, I said, no, it needs to be somebody else. And the first name that came to mind was the name that I know Teddy talks about. And I told Gerald this, that Teddy continues to think you are one hell of a guy, and that you mean a lot to him in his life. And it would mean a lot, I think, if you did the induction. And without hesitation, he said, yes, what do you need? Give me what I need. And we're good to go. And man, you two guys, it's a comedy routine. It was like watching, a couple comedians who've been working together for a while. As smooth as you guys went.
Didn't Jerry say, how much does it pay?
No, not even for a second. Not even for a second. No. All right, Bill, I want to bring up something. Actually, I'm going to ask you point blank, because Sportskeeda sent me a message saying that Bill wants to vent on Tyrese Haliburton. Now, first of all, explain to people who Tyrese Haliburton is, for those who don't know.
Who the hell is Tyrese Haliburton? That's my question. Here's the deal. I'm watching Monday Night Raw, and they're showing Tyrese Haliburton, who is going to be in the WWE, the video game, the 2025.
Yep.
So I was okay at the beginning of the show. And then they kept, I don't follow any other sports, so to say, boxing once in a while. But the whole thing here was that after the initial thing where they showed him in one of the New York Knicks or whatever, it was cute for an hour, for like 2 or 3 minutes at the beginning of the show. Then they have Michael Cole and Pat McAfee doing like 6 minutes or even 4 minutes with him on a separate interview. And I'm going, who the hell is this guy? Looked like a really nice guy, but I don't wrestling fans are watching Raw and SmackDown and any other company to watch professional wrestling. This guy had almost more time than most of the wrestlers on the show. So it drove me crazy. I'm like the kid from Home Alone going, it's enough of this already. I know they're trying to push that product, but it was just overkill. It's just an Tyrese Haliburton. That's all I remember from that night, to be very honest.
Which, by the way, is a basketball star, if I'm not mistaken, because I don't really know this now, but he's a basketball star, and he's kind of got this little heat with another guy in the Knicks, as you mentioned a minute ago, and they're trying to bring that to one of their special pay-per-views or one of their, things out of the country.
You can't just jump someone in like that the fans are not totally wanting to see. He's a sports star. He's probably great, but I would say 80% of the fans watching Monday Night Raw didn't know who the hell he is. I didn't.
Well, I mean, again, it's a different time too, Teddy, because now you're looking at somebody like that who's such a big star. They might have a huge following, social media following, which means numbers for the WWE. Would that be a reason for bringing this guy in, mainly to get that social media numbers up?
Exactly. Numbers are money. Okay, it's just that simple. And the thing is, if it was me, I'd capitalize on it, because right in the middle of a basketball game, I'd have the other guy, whoever he's at the heat with, I'd have him do a run in right in the middle of the game or something, and maybe cause him a 3-pointer or something. Drop him right on the court floor. I mean, deal where there's a big pull apart. Now,
of course, that would have to be a celebrity type of event, because it couldn't be an actual NBA game, because I'm sure they get in trouble for doing that. But
no, they wouldn't get in trouble if they smarten them all up.
If they smarten them up, yeah.
Well, they would have to smarten them up to interfere in a basketball game.
Where is pro basketball fixed?
I didn't know it was broken.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But Teddy, I see your point, and it's okay, but they spend too much time on them.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. I would have wasted that time at a live arena. So now you got everybody's attention. If you start a fight, you break, something in that live arena.
You're bringing that world to our world and make it make sense. And
Right.
I agree. I think there'll be a much better presentation to have done something in that world that was filmed and shown to the fans in the WWE to bring it over to the WWE to keep running that heat.
Yeah.
That
I
would
agree.
that'd
Just
been a smart
too
way.
much of it. Too much of it.
But yeah, you're right, Bill. There was a lot of talk about Tyrese last night. I went back and watched it after I got home today and started watching it again. And they did bring him up like 3 different times. And one time
and they had that interview with him. They had the interview with him taped earlier in the day.
It felt like an ESPN sit-down interview. It didn't even feel like it was a part of the wrestling show. So I do know what I know what you're talking about.
Correct.